Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So, sister, I have to apologize to you because I have forgotten. I've forgotten. So, let me explain to you what the apology is all about. Right now, we are getting ready to move. We move in, let's see, by the time this episode comes out, 4 days. We have movers that are coming to pack up and unload, but, you know, I still, even though it's only been a year since we've moved last time, when we moved here to Victoria, BC from Alberta, that there's still just shit you start to accumulate, right? And the thing that I don't like, and when, you know, we don't move often, but it seems like we haven't twice here in the last 2 years, last year, but I don't want to move shit that I'm just going to end up unloading. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so I'm going through right now and I'm purging stuff. I'm looking through old, like, you know, clothes that we don't need, stuff with the boys, and got to go to my kids' rooms when they're not around and figure out what toys are they not going to miss, because they've got so much stuff and stuffies and books. And as I'm going through the process, I came across an old journal of mine. And it's from 2015, so 2 years ago from when I record this. And I happened to open up to a passage, which was August 23rd, 2015. So funny. I used to also write down like what time I actually journaled. I'm going to go back to doing that. It was kind of cool. And it was shortly before that I wanted to create something different. I knew that there was a new message inside of me. At the time, I had my previous podcast, Moment 41, and really the message was about motherhood, like just embracing how imperfect and how fucking crazy and difficult that it is, and to have a place to really discuss that. You know, have a place to really talk about that, because I felt like it just simply wasn't. And I felt like that message was done. Because there was like, let me see, maybe 5 months, 6 months prior to that, we've been introduced to Garrett J. White, and we'd started to follow the message of Warrior and started to see such a transformation in our life. And I was just like, you know what, there's a different perspective. Even though Garrett's message is to men, clearly, I'm really drawn to it. I know I'm not the only woman. And I know there's a different perspective that I can really take on it being female, being a woman. So I really felt like there was something to really that I could communicate to women to help, just like Garrett was helping to wake men up, that I can help to wake women up in a different way. And so that's what I ended up doing. And this is the reason you're listening to this podcast right now, is because of that. But here's the thing that I want to get really clear is that I'm looking back on my words. And my words are things like, I wish I had the journal in front of me right now, but I don't. But there were words like, you know, I'm really afraid, like, is this the right thing that I'm doing? Is my message going to be too intense? Am I going to piss a lot of people off? You know, I'm not sure if this is the right thing that I should be doing. How do I know? Like, I'm making a big, you know, a 180 turn here into something completely different that I'm doing. Not even 180, let's say 90, a right turn, 90 degrees. I'm doing something completely different. And it's not what people have been used to seeing me as and showing up as. And I knew that it was 100% me. And over the years, I've been kind of like peeling off some of the layers and really showing more of who I was. This was almost like the last thing it felt like to me. Like this was like, whoosh, let me just rip it right off like a Band-Aid, right? Like, let's go. Let me just get completely naked and expose myself and show people who I really am. But holy shit, like that's scary. And what's interesting to me is when I'm reading these words, because, you know, I reflect on it with clients, and those of you that have messaged with me and follow me, that went onto our Facebook page or inside the sisterhood, and have said these similar things of like, you know what, it's really scary, and how are people going to accept me, and, you know, am I doing the right thing? And although I can understand, because for most of you, this is a really new way of being. Really new way of being. When we were introduced to Garrett, you know, I've been doing personal development stuff since my early 20s, and I'm 48 now as I record this episode. So it's been decades of this type of work, but I know for many of you, like, this is brand new shit. You're like, oh my God, I'll mention one thing and your mind will be blown, right? Because it will. It'll be a big thing. And so what I realized in reading that is that the reason why I'm saying I'm sorry I've forgotten is, I'm sorry that I've forgotten how difficult that it is. That I've taken for granted the even more intense work I've done over the last 2 years. And I'll tell you what, with each new jump, it still is. But here's something that's been true to me now as I read those words back then, and I look at now as things are changing all the time for us. I look, my husband, I'm talking to him, I'm like, you know what? I don't even fucking like my website anymore. But the thing is that websites are so redundant because him and I change so much. The pictures are old. I don't even look the same way anymore. I don't like the same things. Like, just things change so quickly. I have to have like a full-time team just on my website for all the new ways that I want to have it reflect who I am. So it's what it is. It's somewhat, static. I'm sure I'm going to evolve it at some time soon, but I look at that and I'm just like, man, this doesn't really reflect a lot of me anymore, even though we've added new pieces and episodes are on there, 3 times a week and all sorts of different resources. But I'd forgotten somewhat as to how difficult it is when this is a brand new thing for you. For a lot of you. You may be listening like, Karen, I'm good. Like, I've been doing this, like you've been doing this for a long time too. But I know for the majority of you, and this is based on the ones that have communicated with me over the last 2 years, it's really new. And I'm sorry that I've forgotten how fucking hard it is when you don't have others that are like you. And we haven't had a couple decades of working on yourself under your belt. And this is brand new stuff. And hell's yeah, I'm still going to say things like just fucking jump and listen to the voice and get clear on what you want and know why it matters and fucking do shit. Stop talking about it. Take action even when you don't know. Those points are still valid. Those are still solid principles. Those are still truths from which to live your life. But the apology is behind, I've forgotten how difficult that it is. And here's the other piece of that. Many of you don't have many women that are like you. That's why I created the sisterhood, right? Because it's difficult to make these changes in isolation. That's why so many of you too will say to me like, oh my God, Karen was like feeling this. And I just listen to your podcast. I'm like, okay, good. I'm good. I got I got a punch in the face. I got a dose of reality. I got some truth delivered to me that I really needed to hear at the time. And now I've forgotten how difficult that truly is. I live in this bubble of people who are like me, and I don't associate with a lot of others that aren't like me. And I don't mean they're exactly like me, but they're striving for similar things. They have that drive. They have a way of seeing the world. They have a way of being in the world that's very different than the way that most of the world rolls. I know for a lot of you, you don't have that. Not yet. Or you might have the odd person or two, but you got a lot of fucking crabs in your bucket trying to pull you down. And I know the force that happens with that. So here is your more tip for today. Listen, this is the way to do it. You want to dive deep. I know so many of you listen to this podcast 3 times a week or find it and binge listen. I think right now, this is episode 318. It's days of content. You could literally, although the episodes are short, as you know, you could literally just listen to this podcast straight for I can't remember what I calculated, maybe 3 days straight of just me. Jesus, don't do that. That's going to make you crazy. Take a break. Don't binge it that quickly. Get some sleep. But you could do that and have, tremendous shifts that happen in your life. But the thing is that you won't do that. It's very difficult. Just exactly like I said, there's a lot of crabs either in your space on a regular basis or in your world, and it's not impossible, but incredibly difficult to do it on its own. So your more tip for today is this: you need to join the fucking sisterhood. Do you realize how many of you listen to this podcast from around the world? 180 countries, an average of about 2,000 downloads a day. That's 2,000 listens. That's 2,000 people. Now I know there might be some of you listen to it once or twice, so we're gonna just take a mulligan on this one and say there's about 2,000 of you listening to it every single day. There's not 2,000 of you in the sisterhood. You get to try it for free for the first 7 days. And listen, I'm going to save you some time right now. Don't send me bullshit emails to say things like this. Oh my God, it's free, but then I have to pay for it. Yes, that's fucking right. What I do is fucking valuable. You think that you're not valuable enough to invest in yourself? Fuck you. I'm going to make you pay me. And that might sound really abrasive. You might not really understand this. And that comment in itself may push you over the edge to unsubscribe and write a nasty review on iTunes. Go right the fucking head, because there's something for you to see in this. There's something for you to hear in this message. If you don't think well enough about yourself to invest $1.50 a day, that's what it equates to, $47 a month after your 7-day free trial. And check this out. I haven't really mentioned this often in the podcast. I actually don't think of any at all. When you go in and sign up for the 7-day trial, you actually get a chance to do an annual membership for $167. Do you know what that is? That's a 72% saving. 72% off. What the fuck? Where do you ever find anything where it's like, hey, here's something on sale? It's 72% off. $167 for 12 months of this kind of support with women that are like you. You have no fucking clue if you are sending me messages like, I can't afford it, and that's too expensive, and oh my God, I can't believe you're charging for this support group. Fuck you, this isn't a support group. This is a group of powerful, committed women that want to be coached by me. Listen, one-on-one coaching with me starts at $15,000. When you send me shit like that, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. And quite honestly, if you don't have that kind of self-love for yourself, I don't want you in the sisterhood. Don't click the join button. Don't sign up for free for 7 days. Do nothing and say, it's not really for me. Yeah, I know that because you've never been in it, clearly. Because you're not willing to do any kind of work as a gift to be in there for 7 days. It's clearly not for you. However, endeth rant. However, if that's not you, and you realize that you're fucking worth it, then you will be inside the sisterhood. It's blowing my mind the results that women are getting inside of there. See, I had a limiting belief which said if women only pay $47 a month, when I have an online program that begins at $297, and then I have a live event, 2.5 days, which is $2,500, and then I have a group coaching, which is close to $5,000, and one with $50,000. See, to me, when I was like, man, $47 a month, I'm going to get all these broke-ass women that will not do the work. And you know what? I was fucking wrong. These women are doing incredible work inside the sisterhood. And if you are not in there right now, if this message resonates with you, if you want to get results, if you're finding it difficult to do on your own, because let's face it, that is the truth, then you are doing a disservice to yourself by not being inside the sisterhood. You can keep your emails if I'm lost and I'm suffering, and if you're not taking action when I've created this for you, where I'm in there daily with a sisterhood tip. This is new content there every single day that's only inside the sisterhood. That there are weekly Facebook Live trainings. Do you know what, even just the community of women that are like you, how valuable that is? It's huge. It's huge. Plus, you get discounts. I've got a live event that I've been planning right now for the fall. You get discounts when you're inside the sisterhood. So here's where you're going to go to sign up for your 7-day free trial. And or you can actually skip that whole step and actually get the annual membership. And save yourself 72%. That works out to less, let me see, 70%, $167. That is about $13 a month. Okay, let's do the math on that. That's about, top of my head, that's about 45 cents a day. Are you fucking telling me you're not worth 45 cents a day? Come on, sister. Come on. So here's where you go. Jump in there right now because it is starting to really fill up very, very quickly. And I will cap this at some point. There's 85 women in there right now. I'm going to cap it at a certain number. I don't know what that is yet, but I'll figure that out when I get there. So you're going to head over to here. drkarenosborn.com, drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood. If you're listening on your phone, you're going to click on the I button on your iPhone. That'll take you to the show notes. You can click on the link right there and sign up from there. If you're in the show notes, you're going to see the link. But otherwise, just type in drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood. Sign up for your 7-day free trial, or even better, get the 72% off for the annual membership, and you are done for the year. So I will talk to you in the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from me doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.